Welcome back to the Ricky Matthews Show from the Citizens Bank studio. I really enjoyed that conversation with Tish Williams. Tish is such a terrific leader. And I never know where the conversation is going to go, but this whole notion about, taking the time to understand the essence of who others are. And as Speaker Jason White said to me, it's hard to hate someone you know. That seems so basic, doesn't it? Anyway, we'll shift gears now, move over to my friend, the mayor of the city of Moss Point, Billy Knight. Billy, how are you doing, my friend?
Oh, Rick, I'm doing great, man. It's always good to see you, Rick, and I want to thank you for always allowing me to come to talk about Moss Point, man. I appreciate you giving me this venue to do that.
Well, listen, God bless you, man. I love spending time with you. You're so inspiring. You're inspiring to a lot of people. We had the opportunity a week or so ago to do a live remote. SuperTalk was there doing a live remote from the Mississippi Municipal League. And you have all these mayors and aldermen and vendors and all these leaders from across the state, virtually every city in the entire state of Mississippi. You realize how important it is when you get into parking lot and see there's no parking spots. I mean, it's just so incredible, thousands of people there. And so it's a great opportunity for me. I had a guy, an alderman from Horn Lake, Mississippi, came up to me and says he listens to my show every day because it's the way he connects with what's happening in coastal Mississippi. It's such an honor to hear that people take time out of their day to celebrate my guests with me. It's just awesome. And you know what was so interesting? I spent time with Kenny Holloway and Fofo Gillich, of course, Mac McDonald from the Coast Coliseum and Convention Center always joins me, and we talk about the latest and how significant that event is. But your name inevitably comes up. Do you realize how many people that you inspire every day? And I think Matt said it best, that you take such a common sense approach to your work. Why can't more leaders in public office do the same? But you're inspiring people with your approach. Do you understand that? Do you realize how many people are inspired by your leadership in Moss Point?
No, I don't know that. I didn't know that, Rick. I really don't, man. It's like I told the Gulf Coast Business League, they recognized me with their award this year. And what I said to them, Rick, is that I come to work every day. I keep my head down. And I do what I think I need to do to move our city forward. And I'm assuming that every mayor is doing that. But, Mr. Jamie Miller, who's the CEO of the Business Council, Gulf Coast Business Council, said, "No, that is not the case." I'm just thinking everybody's doing this. I think I'm just doing what. No, but so Rick, to answer your question, no, I did not. I'm humble by that. To know that other people are inspired by my work. But Rick, I just come to work every day and do what I think I need to do and try to keep our people informed and just try to do the right thing every day. And so I'm happy to know that people are observing from the outside. I'm surprised that so many people say that I don't even know. I'm thinking people not even paying attention. I think they're doing their own work and not even thinking about what Moss Point's about.
But look, here's the thing. The Rising Tide Award is what you're referring to, a new award that they introduced last year. Given out once a year by the Gulf Coast Business Council. And I heard that when Jamie Miller, the CEO of the Business Council, called you, your response was, "Why me?" Which don't you think, and you know I've chatted about this before, but humility, I believe that the more we learn, the more we better learn how much we don't know. That the older we get, if we're true to ourselves, then we're humbled by what we don't know. It keeps us thirsty for wanting to do more. And in that regard, you actually define humility. You're just got your head down. When I think about my conversations with Paige Roberts and the partnership that the two of you have, inevitably she's has the same observations about you as a leader. Just have your head down. But you know what? You're the right mayor at the right time for Moss Point. And, again, some people may call you the Energizer Bunny. He's a guy in his 80s still giving back. It's amazing to me that you're doing it. But it's not about age, Billy. That's what's so interesting about it. It's not, he's an older gentleman. No, it's never that. It's always he's a great leader. This guy's giving back. He's reinvented himself so many times in his life, and look what he's doing now. He's a perfect mayor at the perfect time. It's awesome to see, and I sense it every time we're together. That humility, that sense of you got to make your mark while you got a chance to make your mark, and you can't let another day go by. You got to live in the moment. All those things. That's what you do.
Yeah, that's who I am, Rick. I went to a retreat way back in the early '90s, a Catholic retreat over in Louisiana, and one of the speakers, one of his topics was live in the present moment. And I all remember that, because the present moment is all you got. You know, you don't have the next moment. All you got is right now. So you better make the best you can out of where you are right now, because the next moment is not promised. And so I keep that in my mind, and every time I come to work, I want to make the best of that day. I can't waste any time. And I said to my people, they laugh when I say it, but everything is urgent for me. Everything is urgent. I don't have time to waste. So every day I come in here, I mean, I don't want to, God has blessed me that I'm not sick a lot. I'm healthy. I'm getting about my business and doing it and able to do it. And I'm happy that it is, because I don't have time to be sick. I got too much to do. And so I'm just thankful to God that he's allowing me to do this work. And everything is urgent for me, Rick. Everything is urgent.
Well, you know, I think to have success, whether you're working in the community, whether you're the mayor of a city or whether you're running a business, that a sense of urgency, for those who don't feel a sense of urgency, the moment you don't feel a sense of urgency anymore, that's the moment you've accepted where you are now.
That's right.
And you start to go backwards. It's just a reality. I mean, gravity won't allow you to stay in one spot.
No.
You're either moving forward or you're getting pushed backward.
That's right.
But that's real, isn't it?
That's right. There's no such thing as standing still. You know, the world is moving on. You might be standing still, but everything else is still moving forward. And if you think you're moving forward and you're not actually doing that or trying to do that, you're really going backwards. So the challenge is, Rick, for me, is getting our people to understand that we have to make tough decisions to move our city forward, because our people have been in this position for so long of seeing nothing happen. And when things start happening, they get nervous about it because they've never seen it before. And that's my challenge over here, is getting our people to be able to help me see the vision and help me move the vision forward. But it's scary for a lot of people because they have not seen it before, you know. And I made the statement when I was running, and my wife told me I needed to stop saying the people of Moss Point have not seen good leadership in so long until they don't know what it looked like.
Right.
And so I'm trying to show what good leadership, and some people are afraid of it.
Yeah.
Because they haven't seen this before, because most time our leaders been sitting here not doing anything. And we became used to that. Listen,
being a good leader is about expressing what you're expressing now and helping people see why we have to have a sense of urgency, why we have to expect more of ourselves, why we have to raise the bar. And listen, in my conversation at the Coliseum with Mayor Fofo Gillis from Biloxi, he talked about, well, I didn't realize this, the role that Moss Point played in the development of his software business and how near and dear to his heart Moss Point was, and then how supportive he was of you. And then, you know, having to give up his assistant police chief, you know, and he talked about all those things. But you got you a good one, didn't you?
I did. It was our fire chief, Rick.
A fire chief. That's right, fire chief. I meant to say fire chief for sure. Yeah.
The mayor came over the day that we introduced him at the board meeting and saw him in. Mayor Fofo came over, and I was honored that he came, and he made the statement about his connection to Moss Point. When Dr. Hines Croner was our superintendent, he hired him, just a young guy out of school, to set up their software system at the Moss Point School District. And he talked about how he was indebted to that and it was still dear to him. And he said something to the audience that it was really touched my heart, is that he said, Mayor, if it wasn't for you, I would not have let him go, which means he would have offered him more money to stay there. He said, but because of my relationship with you and I know Moss Point need him, I know what you're trying to do. He said, I'm glad he's here, and that's why I'm over here to let you know how much I appreciate him being here and you accepting him. Man, that was a man. And now people's heard that he's saying because of our relationship, he would not compete with keeping the chief there, but allow him to come over here because he knew we needed him. He know what I'm trying to do. And I'm trying to build a quality staff. And this young man we got is nothing but quality.
What a great story. What a great story that talks to It's One Coast and how we work together, and the fact that Fofo actually went over to Moss Point and did that. And then, by the way, his business evolved. He ended up in Los Angeles school system and developed this hugely successful software company. People who underestimate Fofo Gillich do at their own demise. This guy's got a degree in mathematics. He's thinking way faster than he can even talk. It's amazing. When we come back on the other side, we'll continue our conversation with Mayor Billy Knight from Moss Point. Welcome to the final segment of the Ricky Matthews Show from the Citizens Bank studio. Hey, listen, we can't get a window in for him for the SuperTalk TV audience, but Kyle, turn your mic on for just a second. I got something I want to say. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Isn't it cool to have a chance to talk to people like Billy Knight?
It is. It really is.
And you know what we got to start? We got to start a during the break segment, and you probably ought to record the breaks. Because some really cool conversations happen during the breaks, don't they?
Yeah, they do. I think I learned more from in between breaks than what.
I know, and that's something we got to start a new segment. During the break.
Exactly.
Right.
That could be its own podcast.
They used to call them outtakes, Rick. Outtakes.
Yeah, no doubt. But see, it's interesting because it is a great opportunity to visit with people. So not only do we visit during the show, but we're visiting when the show's not happening. And right. Kyle and I get to learn so much. But one of the things we were talking about is your great relationship with Fofo Gillich. And I just think it's so terrific that he would literally come over to Moss Point to congratulate his assistant fire chief. I said at the beginning of the show, I said police chief, but I knew it was the fire chief, and his becoming the fire chief in Moss Point, and then his giving you so much credit for his success. It's just, gosh, I love, at the end of the day, it is a small world, and people who don't get that, they really do so at their own demise. I think about how many people burn bridges. It's so dumb to burn bridges, isn't it?
Rick, speaking of One Coast, in our relationship, and I said this also at the award ceremony with Mississippi Gulf Coast Business Council, is that One Coast, if we are truly One Coast, I think about it during the time when Governor Winter was governor. He started the thing about Mississippi as community. And I said, I see the Gulf Coast as community, one coast, but one community, because we don't ever know when we're out of one community or one city until another. You're in Pascagoula, you're in Moss Point, or where are we? All of a sudden you're in Ocean Spring, and all of a sudden you're in Biloxi. You pass through Goche and didn't realize you passed through Goche. So what I said at that ceremony was that if we're truly one coast, if we're truly one community, then we need to start treating each other that way. Because we are as strong as our weakest link. If Moss Point is weak right now, everybody ought to be trying to help build Moss Point up. Because Moss Point is dragging all the other communities down if you're not careful. So if we're really one coast, then we need to start acting like we're one coast and support. And that's what Fofo did.
Yeah.
Fofo was an example of what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That if you really want Moss Point Fire Department to be the best, then you allow your best to come over here to help build it up.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. You got watching the aftermath of the tornadoes and how the community came together and helped people who needed that help so big time. And you got a new bank that's going to be built. I mean, it's exciting to see that even through very challenging times, this community comes together, isn't it?
Absolutely. Because that's what I've also been saying. Is the reason we came back as quick as we did was because of all the outside support we got. Fofo sent help over here. Firemen came over and helped cut down trees. Gulfport sent people over here. Biloxi supporters. We had the sheriff department helping us. The state highway patrol, the first responders came in here. We had folks from Ohio came down here. We had the Amish and the Latter-day Saints. I mean, you name them. They came from everywhere to help us. And that's why we were able to get back on our feet. But you have to be a welcoming community for them to want to do that. So they knew, first of all, that was the case, that we have set an image here that we are a welcoming city, and the city government want you to come. And so when we had that tragedy, people just started calling and saying, when can we come? What do you need us to do? And they came, and we got back on our feet in record time. Because when I talked to FEMA and MEMA representatives, and they work all over the country with these disasters, they said, you guys have really come back much faster than normal when we go to some of these communities, because you had the help that we didn't expect you to have. And we're grateful for that, Rick.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so important. So, we don't have much time left, but at the moment, what are you most excited about in Moss Point?
Well, M&M Bank is the big thing on the excitement line right now, because we just had a groundbreaking on the 18th where they are going to build their bank back, because there was some rumor when it first happened that M&M Bank was going to take this opportunity not to rebuild in Moss Point. And that was never true that they ever thought about that. So now they've proven it by Greg and Brown. They've got a beautiful new building that they've designed, and that construction is going to start within another couple of months. Outside of that, Rick, we're still cleaning up our place, and there's still some houses that people live out of the area that's not taken down yet, but we're working with them. And so we're excited about the funding that we're getting from the state and from the federal government to help us with our infrastructure. So we're doing a lot of things at the same time, Rick. I'm grateful for all the support that we've been getting. And it's because of programs like yours and you allowing me to help get the word out there. So, Rick, I can't thank you enough, man, for what you're doing for us through this medium.
I can't thank you enough for being such a great inspiration. I love spending time with you. I think that's evident. And I love that you have the opportunity to show people what it means to be a public servant. And thank you for that. God bless you, my friend. We won't wait so long to get you back on.
Thank you, Rick. God bless you, man, your family, and we love you.
You bet, man. Same here. Take care. Listen, have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, buddy. Bye-bye.